Hello and good evening. It's Friday again. Friday the 6th of December, not long to go now. So here we are again with a live tutorial, and we are going to be making a mini hot pad mitt this evening. So I wonder who's going to join me tonight. I wonder how or what sort of day you've all had. If it's anything like mine, it has been cold. But one of the things I did mean to put onto Facebook to say was that all the parcels from the sale are in the post. Hello, Jill. Hope you're feeling a lot better and well back to the norm. Hello, Dorothy. Good evening to you. And hello, Carol. And hello, Christine. So, yes, I did all my cutting and most of the packing yesterday, and they've all gone off this morning. I say that there are 3 or 4 which haven't gone off because I had to get back to you regarding certain fabrics if I had enough of. But fortunately, everything is in stock. Oh, that's somebody just texting me. Okay. So let me have a look to see who else is here. Oh, there's Tony. Hello, amigo. And hello, Josie. Hello, Bev. Hello, Gita. Hello, Wendy, Yvonne, and Patricia. All of those names I recognise. Oh, I thought I was doing something just a moment ago. Hello, Jill. Oh, dear. Oh, dear, Jill. And hello, Jill, and John. I think you're on your own, though. Hello, Jan. And I closed the scissors on my thumb. And I didn't think I'd cut it, but I have. I wasn't looking in the right place. Never mind, a little bit of blood. Shows I've got some, doesn't it? Good evening, Alison. Recognise that name, so I've written that today and that's gone. Hello, Carol. And all the Trishettes. I keep forgetting to say that, don't I? We are the Trishettes. Hello, Linda. And hello, Vanessa. Oh, I hope that doesn't bleed over my project. Never mind. What could I got some, perhaps I've got some tape here that I can stick it up with. You never know. I might find something. Perhaps it will heal itself while I'm talking. So, let's see. Pollyann. There she is. There's somebody else who calls me young these days as well. As you know... Oh, somebody's asking a question up the top there. As you know, I'm not so young, but my mind is still young. It's the body is not the same as my mind, but never mind, we'll carry on. Hello, Pamela. Hello, Pat. Hello, Chris. Oh, you're going to the guides. Okay, enjoy. Hello, Marion. Hello, Judith. Okay, so what have we been up to? Here it has been cold, and it's getting colder. And one thing I will say... Oh, stop texting me. One thing I will say, excuse that going off. Perhaps if I turn... Let me turn it on to silent, and then we won't hear, will we? I'm just hoping... Hello, Virginia. Hello, Beverly. And hello, Barbara. Already? Already? Oh, I see here already. I thought you mean already for Christmas. Thank you, Pollyann. It's fine. You've got a nice young name. Oh, that is sore now. Oh, hello, Jane. It's the weekend, and you... Absolutely, that's just what I was going to say. All of those, well, wherever. Hello, Paula, and hello, Marilyn. Especially, hello, Sandra. Especially in Wales, and where else was it? Northern Ireland, Southern Ireland, Southwest, who are going to get extremely bad weather. Please stay safe and stay in where you can, and stay safe. When I saw it, I thought, oh my goodness, I think we in sort of central England are going to get some as well, but I don't think anywhere near as bad as that. So please stay safe, stay in and sew. It is the safest thing to do. Hello, Susan. Yes, are we all prepared for Dara? Torches and flask at the ready. Well, I've got candles. Oh, fantastic, Tony. Hello, Angela. Yeah, absolutely. I think there are a lot of people here. I don't know here at the moment, but are in the groups from these areas. So we are all thinking of you all the time. So as I keep reading, batten down the hatches. It's just awful these days, isn't it? Hello, Marilyn. Good idea, Jeeta. I'm supposed to be taking my mum out tomorrow, but we'll just see what it is like. Hopefully it won't be too bad. It's not too far to travel, but being in the country, there are trees everywhere, so you just have to look out that little bit, take a little bit more care. Barbara's still writing Christmas to-do lists. Yes. Well, I have got to pop out first thing in the morning. Oh, Sarah's on the borderline. Oh, yeah, I know it sounds bad. It's bad out there now, is it? It's not too bad here. But yes, probably for you, Virginia, it's not good, is it? Hello, Joanne. Parcel's gone off there, Joanne. Hello, Karen, and hello, Carolyn. Carolyn, I think there's one for you as well. I remember when I've written addresses, you see. Oh, lots of things are cancelled, Marilda. Yes, I couldn't remember where you are, but yep, South Wales and basically most of Wales itself, isn't it? And the southwest. So that's probably Glynnis. If you're here tonight, Glynnis, stay safe. You could hand stitch by torchlight, and actually my phone's got a good torch on there as well. So as long as we've got electricity to keep the battery powered up. Oh, Sarah's already had a tree down in the garden. Oh, how dreadful. The wind hasn't started here yet, but as I say, we are further inland. But it looks now as if it's going to come our way, but hopefully not too badly. And let's hope it's sort of slightly exaggerated, so it's not as bad as we're expecting. Hello, Leslie, and hello, Pat. Very windy in the West Midlands. Oh, my goodness. That's not so far from us, about an hour's drive. So you never know, do you? Oh, yes, yes, you're in South Wales, Angela, aren't you? Yes. I think Yvonne is down there as well. Mary Mook. Hello, Catherine. So there are, you know, just thinking off the top of my head, I can't remember everybody's address, but those that order regularly, yes, I know your addresses, so I shall come after you. But you know my address, so you can easily come after me. Yes, so, dum-de-dum-de-dum. Very windy in Bristol, deaths and funeral. Oh, my goodness. Dear. Hello, Kathleen. You're just keeping your fingers crossed. Yes, you're northwards, aren't you? And Jeeta usually gets most of it. Yes, indeed you do. Now, just an update of those of you. I did put a post about, and I haven't got it here, and I shan't be doing a demonstration yet until I have all that I need. But the clover tube makers for making jelly roll rugs, it's still showing that they're due in to the supplier on the 9th of December. So when I know that I'm definitely getting them, if you would like one, pop your name under there so I know how many to order, and then I'll let you know when payment is needed. But I hope they'll come through pretty quickly, because I don't really want to be posting or using Royal Mail or any other courier, in fact, after, say, the 11th, 12th of December, because you never know what it's going to be like, do you? Yes, news that lots of markets cancelled in the northeast. Beamish Museum also closed. Oh dear, but better safe than sorry, that's what we say, don't we? Pontypridd and Bridgend, Marilyn, yes. Rochester, oh, they've cancelled the Dickens Festival as well. Yes, there's a few around here, just in case, I think. Hello, Diane, and hello, Liz. How much are they? Oh, the clover tube makers are going to be £16. It's less than they should be, but that was my deal on the day. You think, I can't remember all the names that are on there. Have a check of the post. It's in the So Trisha Sews group. Have a look at the post to make sure you put your name down. And I may very well order a couple more than needed, purely because there's usually somebody or a couple of people that say, oh, I wanted one, but I think they're becoming very, very popular at the minute, and as soon as they get them in stock, they sell out. Evening, Leslie, and Sue says Christmas markets cancelled in Harrogate and Knaresborough. Right. Across the country. So Norfolk seems okay, I think, at the moment, but you never know with the strong winds whether it could carry on further, and you don't know what's coming from behind those winds that are pushing them in. But all I know is that it's not nice for us, is it? I don't mind a little bit of snow to make it a bit seasonal, but then I suppose, who knows, there's going to be snow in some places anyway, aren't there? Yes, so that's with the clover tube makers, and then from there I don't think I've got any more fabric coming in as yet. I've got lots pre-ordered for next year, so there will be ranges coming in then. Okay, Gita, that's lovely, thank you. So until then, hello Amanda, good evening. Yes, nothing really super exciting. Now obviously I will be working on next year's agenda. Yes, that's right, Barbara, red warning for Wales. Yes, next year's agenda in the Sew with Trisha group. It will be very, very similar, but no, I haven't, Karen. I'm not going to do one until everybody has theirs. The ones have just gone out that I had in stock have gone out today, but I can't order from the supplier because they don't have them till the 9th of December. So I'll wait until after then, because so that people have got them to be able to go. Or I could do it just beforehand, but I shall be ordering just what I need, rather than having a stock just in case. Okay. So instead of going out, absolutely. That's what we call partying, don't we? It's really not a good time when we keep getting all this adverse weather and extreme. It's hard on us, isn't it? So, yes, I will be doing a demo of that for you at some point. But what I say I'm focusing on is the, what I should be doing in next year's Sew with Trisha group for 12 months. And it will be along very similar lines, but I'm going to put something in a little bit different, just so that it keeps it nice and fresh. But I'm not changing it completely, because you might think, I don't like that, but lots more. That is what I'm going to be doing tonight, Gita. Gita's just asked, can we make something with the heat-resistant wadding? I'm saying that this is what I should be. I have used Thermolam because I didn't want to go outside to get, hi Sue, to get my Insel Bright. But these are ideal. I'll show you what we're going to make. This is can you see? It's like an oven glove, which is what it is. But instead of having a long section in the middle, it is for your hand to go in. So you pop your hand in there and your thumb in the other one, and you pick so I'm going to have two when I've done the other one. And if you're getting something out of the oven, you've just got your hand in there, and you have your hand in the other one too, to hold both sides of your dish. Pat, you're absolutely right. If we're sewing, we will be safe and warm. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do tonight, and it really is very easy. Now, I have used Thermolam because I know lots of you have got Thermolam, and I know quite often you like to make it as soon as I've demonstrated. So you will have exactly what you need in your stash. A little bit of bias binding. I have put, no I haven't. I have put the template, in, I've made a template, I've got the PDF, but I haven't put it in the Sew with Trisha group yet. So I will explain how you make, because you could make it any size you like. But I've drawn a template up for you for how to make it. But it's really quite sweet. Now, my inspiration for this was a machine embroidery in the hoop project. What was it? Designs by Little Bee. And I thought, I haven't bought the project, but I saw what it was and I thought, What a great idea. I am sure we can make these very, very simply without having to have an embroidery machine. Now, with an embroidery machine, obviously it's going to, I think hers were quilted as well. They might have had some little design on, would make it super special. But you could do this with your, if you have an embroidery machine, by embroidering it first. Oh, that looked a bit strange there. By embroidering it first and then cutting your shape out. Oh yeah, this is the thing, Karen. So I quite often, well, I do use a tea towel, one at each side, and if you don't get your fingers covered, you burn yourself. So with these, you can't burn yourself at all. Now, one of the things I thought of afterwards, I mean, obviously my hand goes in there really well on that side. On this side here, I've just got my thumb in there, and I thought after you've sewn it together, what you could do is two vertical lines of stitching, sort of, I suppose, about ½ an inch or so away from the edge of the bias binding, so that you've got a smaller pocket for just your thumb to go into, which holds it a little bit firmer. But it's not bad. It's looser. But as I say, if you put two stitched lines sort of there, and there, just so big enough for your thumb to go in, you've got a silicone crocodile. Oh, wow. That could work as well, just as an additional. Now, the other thing is, if you wanted to make the long oven gloves, so you have this little pocket because they look just the same, then all you need to do is have a longer strip and then just round the corners off. So this starts off with an 8x5 rectangle, and then I use one of my small circular rulers. The I've called it 2.5 inch, but it works with the mini charms, and I had them on sale last week in the fabric sale, and I just use that to round the corners. But if you want to choose a different shaped corner, or wanted to, I think rounded is best, but you can do that, as I say, with a longer strip, and then put your pockets on at each end, just like we've done here. So rounding those corners off, that's what I was saying. So all you need is one piece for your back, and then the inside could be a different, but I've used the same fabric for my inside, so you need 2 pieces plus a piece the same shape in either thermolam, oh dear, doesn't matter, Sue. And there's Janet, hello. Janet, I've got your bits ready, but I'm not going to be about much tomorrow, but we'll sort out. Yes, so 2 pieces of the main shape and 1 piece of either Insel Bright, which is the heat resistant fabric, or tonight I'm using Thermolam, which has, I never call it heat resistant. A lot of people say it does insulate, but your Insel Bright will be the best if you are holding something for a long time, coming straight out of the oven. But I think this will just about do with Thermolam, because it does give a little bit of heat resistance. And we have got Thermolam in this part and in the main part as well. So as I say, you need 2 pieces of fabric in the main shape and 1 piece of Thermolam or Insel Bright. And then for your little pockets, they are also lined like so. So you have 2 pieces that start off 5 inches by 3 inches for each side. So you need 4, and then 2 pieces of your Thermolam or Insel Bright. And if you cut your 5 inch by 3 and then round your corners on one side, because obviously you've got your straight edge here, round them on one side so that they're exactly the same shape as the other. By cutting them all out at the same time is really, really good. So I hope mine are going to fit on this other one, because I didn't cut them all out at the same time. But we shall see. I'm sure it will be all right. So shall I show you what we're going to do? Right, let's just find so that I can see any questions that you might be asking. Oh, let's have a look here. Let's have a look here. I want to see where I am. Come on, there we go. There we go. We are here. Okay. Right, now that I can see that, my mouth grabs your dish. Oh, I see. A silicone crocodile that Jill was saying about. Judith, you could double up on the Thermolam. It's just the bulk. So I would, if I were going to double it up anywhere, it would be on the main parts. Whereas the pocket pieces, I would keep single, because obviously you're going to be stitching through 3 layers of Thermolam. Hi, Sue. And 1, 2, 3, 4 layers of fabric when we come to do the binding. So just take, if your machine will take it, brilliant. But some of you might find it a little bit difficult getting through all those layers. So let's have a look to see what I have got ready cut for us today. Let's see, I think my light is fine. So I've got my pre-made bias binding. If you want to make your own, then please do. I have got 2 pieces in that nice curved corner shape. So 1, 2, which we won't have them, let's put them like that, 1, 2. And then I have got, which I haven't rounded off, how bad, which I thought I had. So I have got 4 pieces of fabric for my pockets, and then I have got 2 pieces which are the pocket wadding, and just 1 piece of wadding for the main piece. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use, and this will be quite easy. So because I haven't, you can see here that the fabric started off as a rectangle, and here I've got my wadding rounded. So I'm going to, I like to use a little bit of spray. Now the other thing you could do is to actually quilt this, which I think that would look even nicer to quilt it. And so I've sprayed my other side of my Thermolam, and I'm just going to lay that down onto my fabric. There we are, so that's on my fabric there. Now I'm going to do that again with my other piece. So, and then I'm going to start trimming. So let's just do just a tiny bit there, and let's just pop that down. So I'm lining one of the straight edges. Okay, now because I've got that stuck to there, I'm just going to trim so that I know this is exactly the same shape. I'm just going to trim that edge of fabric away, and there I have my pocket piece that is rounded. So I can do that on both my pieces. And as I say, the template that I have got, and I will put in the group after we've finished, but we've got plenty of time to download that this time because we're only on the beginning of the month. So once I have done one side, I'm then going to spray, always spray the wadding. I was reading in another group how people said they sprayed the fabric, and I thought, no, 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 no. Always spray your wadding. You will get far more residue. Did I spray that one? Yes, I think I did. If you spray the fabric, you could quite easily, if you oversprayed it, get too much spray there, and you can see it will come through the fabric. So let me just trim that off as well. So I'm now just using the shape of my wadding to trim my fabric. So you can see that one is done perfectly now, and then this one as well. So I'm just trimming it to shape so that all those pieces are identical. Could I move the camera up? Yeah, I will. Oh, there we are. I wondered if it was, there we are. It looks a little bit different on the phone as opposed to, I'm looking into the iPad and it looks fine, but on the phone it doesn't look as close. There we are. Okay, so there. So we've got those two done. So let's leave those there for a moment. And then while I've got the spray, what I'm also going to do is I'm going to put my my main pieces together. So again, if you don't have fabric spray, let's see if this fits nicely because I've cut this. If you don't have fabric spray, what you could do now is quilt across here, which I think would be quite nice. Oops, haven't got that very well. That's the thing about 505. It is repositionable, so just make sure those come nicely. That's better. So that's all fitted in nicely. Oh, it's a bit far up that end, but let's just push that down just a little bit. There we go. And then flip it to the other side. Little bit of spray. Pop that over there. And then let's see if we can get this on here. So I've used this cake fabric, which was also in the fabric sale, because I thought actually that's quite apt for oven gloves. The only thing I would say, it has slight direction. Can you see? So that is going to go sideways, but you know, strawberries can be any way. The cake will be upside down or sideways on, but I wasn't really, if you're fussed about it, make sure if you've got directional fabric that it is orientating the right way. Okay, so I've got both sides of that, and as I say, I think quilting would look quite nice for this. So, oh, we've got plenty of thread in there. Let's have a look. I think we've got plenty of thread on here too. So the first thing I'm going to do is with my bias tape, I am going to fold it in half, and either with an iron or with your, I'm just going to crease it to press it. So we can just make sure it's folded in half perfectly so that both those edges match like there, because what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pop some bias binding along the top edge. Now you could make your own with that isn't bias. It could be on the straight of the grain, absolutely fine. And I'm going to slot this around, so I'm going to stitch through both layers at the same time. So I'm just going to pop that on there. You can pin it or just work as you go, and you just want that to go in, so that inner edge, like when we're doing bunting, is just going to slip straight in there like so, so that we're stitching through, because we're just going to stitch along here, and I want it to go straight into the middle. Whoops, there we go. I'm going to go straight down the middle, so I know that the other side is going to be caught. There we go. So let's just pop this onto, there we go, and we'll do a stitch length of a normal stitch length 2.5, and I'm using a 1/4 inch stitch length, stitch width, so that I am lining up the edge of my foot so I'm stitching a 1/4 inch in, which is only halfway across the bias binding, but I know it's going to be caught. And actually I'm going to increase the stitch length to a 3, because now that's just slipped a little bit, so that's it. I'm just making sure that is under my foot. There we are. And as I say, I'm going to do a longer stitch length. You could even do a decorative stitch across here, but I'm just making sure I can see that's the same width the whole way across. So I am just stitching across here, and I've left my hole. It takes about 1 meter of binding, so I can clip that off right at the end like so, and then I'll trim that off there, and let's just see, hopefully. So yes, that's caught in all the way along the back as well. So that's my front, which is a lot straighter there, but at least it's caught all of that as well. So I'm just going to put that one to the side, and we will do exactly the same with our other piece, which is here. And I think I've already folded that just a little bit. So it's only 5 inches across. And as I say, what you could do is just with straight of grain fabric, just cut yourself a strip, fold it as if you're making a strap for a bag, and then we can slot that over this straight edge as well. So just pop that in like there, and if we just lay that down, I can hold that over, and I can see there that I can see from that edge that that's evenly spaced across, and I know that's going to catch, oops, there we are, that is going to catch my my bias and my fabric on both sides. So if I just pull that just a little bit, just make sure I see that's beautifully straight, and that way I know that it will be going through the other side as well. So it's like killing 2 birds with 1 stone. When I come to do the other part, the other around the main edge, I will show you how I would normally pop bias binding on. Oh, blimey. Right, so there we have number 2, and that's nicely stitched across there as well. So here is my, we are going to line up just there. We're going to line up our pockets. Okay, so the curved edge with the curved edge. And what I'm going to do, I am going to put a little clip at that side to hold it. And I'm now going to, let's just have a look. Oh, yes, that's okay. Oh, just drop that piece off, of course. But I'm going to, let's see, that's the right side there. I'm going to do a little bit of stitching around belts and braces. You know how it is. I don't want anything to slip out of place. So especially around these curves, I'm just going to stitch around here, just as I say, to hold it all in place. So I'm going to use a longer stitch length, just so it's basting it together. So I just will come around here. I might even, let's go around to this side. There we are. So I'm just stitching around the base, just holding those layers together. So that's fine to there. And then on this other one, so we're just lining up those curves. I think what I did, I've used one curve that isn't one of those. The wrong side went to the wrong side, which means that they're not perfectly together, but we'll trim that before we start to pop the binding on. I can see a little bit there. So I'm just going around here just to hold it together, because I don't want to be unpicking, and I want it to go together perfectly first time. So let's just have a look from the other side, and if you can see any bits that just look a little bit, see, that's not caught down there because I didn't stitch that bit. So where that was pushed over, that would have meant I would have wanted to unpick because it wasn't quite right. So let's just stitch there, and then we can make sure everything is nicely aligned. Okay, I think there. Now that's a little bit wider here, so let's just trim that off so that's all smooth and all those edges are the same. And there, that's fine, and that's fine, and that's fine. Okay, so we've got that held together partially. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to not use that bit there. No, let's start from the other end. It would be that in this small piece I've got a join. So let's start from the other end. And at the other end, I'm going to open it out because I'm going to stitch along this crease. So to start off with, I am going to cut a diagonal because I want to make a nice, so I've just cut a diagonal strip off there, and then I'm going to fold that over and press it back. So can you see what I've done? I've just folded that back, and then we can fold that back there. I'm going to clip that little bit off there, and so that is going to give me a, there we go, that's going to give me a nice neat edge when it comes to folding it over. So I'm going to leave it open, and then I'm going to start in the middle, in between where these two come together. So I'm going to pop that down like so. I'm going to line up this edge. Now I do like to use a seam ripper or an awl just to hold this down, and I'm going to be, let's see if I can make, here is my crease. Now if I just draw it in black, there is my crease, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to stitch on that crease line. So I'm going to make sure the raw edge of the bias is with the raw edge of the, let's have a look there, is with the raw edge of my main mat, and I can pull that out. I'm just going to make sure my stitch length is a 2.5, and then I'm just going to stitch in that crease. Now you won't be able to see the crease, it's quite hard for me to see that, but I'm just holding that down. You see when I'm coming into a curve, I'm just going to put my finger down just to hold that there, and I'm just pushing the edge, the raw edge of my bias around to fit that curve. Okay, so you can see that coming around there. So you get the pleats here, but just squash those out of the way and just keep that, there we are, just keep those, the edge of the bias with the edge of our mat, of our little glove, our mini hot pad. Okay, so let's go around. It's nice along the straights, that's easy, but as soon as we can't start coming to the curve, I keep my seam ripper down. Whoops, see if that's gone off a little bit. So let's just pull that around and flatten that down, just so that our stitching can carry on along. Now we are going to trim this a little bit because the seam allowance on this bias is a little bit wider than I want it to be, and when we turn it back to the other side, I want it to fit very, very easily. So I want it to spring back and just cover that area exactly how I want it to be. So I'm just pulling that out to that outer edge, and then, so I'm not stretching my bias, I am just making sure that it fits around the edge. And as you can see what I'm doing there, so as I just pull that out and keep that, don't really want to sew in a pleat, so just push that out of the way and keep that edge all lined up. Now this is quite small, so it doesn't take very long. It's another one of those things, I don't know how many Christmas craft fairs you've got left at the minute, but I should think they're sort of coming to an end. But these can be an everyday, you know, it doesn't have to be for Christmas, but it's a nice little make. There we are, we're coming on the straight again. Nice little make, doesn't take too long and doesn't take too much fabric. Now you can see where this, I'm coming up to the end here, so I'm just going to trim that off, just make sure there's enough. Now what I might even do, just to reduce any bulk there is there, just open that out, and I'll do a little bit of a diagonal trim. So let me just hold that way, and rather than a straight trim, but just make sure, there we are, and that fits in there, just make sure it's longer than this piece here. So that is just, we're just going to carry on stitching along that crease line and make sure that lines up with my previous part. And then that's where we have that nice join there, easily done. So let's just move that back. Now before I do anything else, I'm going to trim this back, because when we pull this binding back over here, can you see how it's not going to quite cover our stitching? So leave the bias like that. Just going to put a pin in there to hold that out of the way, and there, because we don't want to trim that. And then I'm just going to trim this back to probably 1/8 of an inch or so, but just make sure you don't trim your bias. Perhaps it'd be better if I look from this side, wouldn't it? So we've got a little bit of around these corners, or these curved ends. There we go. We'll just trim that back, because as I say, we just want this, when we turn the binding back, we want it to just fit snugly over to the other side. And we're actually going to machine it in place. So we can just trim along here. As I say, it really doesn't take that long to do, but we will get a nice smooth curve. And it will also, when you're doing it by machine, sometimes it doesn't catch the other side in, but this way we'll make sure that it catches the other side in. So there we go, and we are almost back to where we began. So there it is. So we're all trimmed off now, and then all I'm going to do is fold this back. There we are. You can see that is coming over there really nice and easily now. And when we fold that back, that sits nicely. So I can get my, where is my, no, that's gone now, never mind. So that just fits around, perhaps trimmed a little bit too much off really, but that is just going to sit around here really, really nicely. So we can put a few pins around just to hold it. Let's just put that. And if you can see that the binding, the bias binding is a similar, let's do it that way, a similar width all the way around, you know that it is going to stitch through to the other side, and hopefully in the same place all the way around. So let's just pop that in there, and we can put a few more as we go, and especially around these curves, just sort of pull that out neatly like so. And to give you an equal amount, running out of pins now, that's it, just tuck your fingers into those curves, and it just makes it really nice and neat, which is what we aim for, don't we? Just got a few more pins, one there, and then this piece here, just make sure that covers over nicely and hopefully joins up quite well. There we are, tuck that in, and that is actually where I'm going to start. I'm going to start just on this piece here. So, yes, okay, so I've got my pins coming out the wrong way, but it's how it held it. So I'm going to start where this join is, because that is going to make it or hold it together even better from the very beginning. So let's see, let's just line up here. So I can actually, let's just pull that down there, I can actually line up my edge of my foot. So I've got the 1/4 inch seam allowance, and the edge of the foot is around the edge of the binding. So it means that hopefully my stitching will be consistent the whole way around. So let's just take that one out as we go. Again, if you want to use your seam ripper just to hold that down. There we are, and around we go. We'll take that pin out there and just pull that back a little bit so that I can see that that is the same width all the way around. But it's nice, and that same one there. It's nice when you've got a good consistent width of your bias all the way around. But then on the other hand, you know, it is something that is going to get messy, probably get a bit of grease on it or some gravy. So it can be thrown into the washing machine quite easily and come out as good as new. And you'll be able to press it quite easily too, because there's nothing in here that's going to melt, or anything which would melt at a high heat is covered anyway. It's covered by fabric, so will be absolutely fine. Let's just take that one out. It's just the pins are in the other way because it was just easier to hold it, to hold the binding in place. So here we go. I quite enjoy doing these. I did it quite quickly because there wasn't that much time in my day to get it made. In fact, it was made this afternoon. But anything that's nice and straightforward is always a pleasure. So I've just gone over that first couple of stitches that we started and just clip that off onto the other side, and it would probably be, oh, that's not too bad, that's not all of that. It would probably be better had I put the binding onto this side. But so on this one you can see I've got some nice stitching just around there, but it's gone off a little bit there, but you can't actually see that. But what we've got in effect is exactly the same, whoops, as my other one. So I can put my hand in there and my hand in here, and I have got a matching pair for getting my hot plates or my hot dishes out of the oven very, very easily. Now, one thing I was going to say, oh, there we go, oops, oh, you don't want me that close, no. What I was going to say was, and I have to, the measurements that I gave you were 8 inches across here, so just check that in your, you know, you might have a longer hand, so just cut yourself, say, a piece of paper. I'm just seeing if I can find something. Oh, there's a bit of felt. No, that's not. So let's so cut yourself a piece of paper and pop it in between your hands, or in between your thumb there, and measure. So that piece, just measure it going into the crease here, and obviously that is not long enough. So this was only, that's only 6 inches, hence I used this, which was 8 inches. So just have a look. It may be that you've got longer fingers than me, so just make sure the length of your fabric is whatever distance it is from the tip of your thumb to your end of your finger, and I would just add an inch onto that for the seam allowances. As I say, that's why that piece I just popped in between, like, whoops, it's hard to see, isn't it? But that is just slightly longer than, you know, my thumb's a bit there, just slightly longer than the length in between here. You may have longer fingers, longer thumb, so it might be that you need 9 inches, or you might need 9.5, but just give that a try before you cut your own ones out, because it might be you need it a little bit longer, or it may be that your hands are small and you might want to only cut 7 inches, because you don't need it to be, I mean, this way I can feel in there what I have, and my hand especially is right at the tip. It's a bit like a good fitting pair of shoes, near enough at the tip there. I can feel them right there to be able to grab what you've got. New Zealand, Caroline, I know, absolutely lovely. So that is my little make for a Friday evening. But the fabric does look good, doesn't it? I think it's really quite effective. And as you can see, my cake here is right that way, but does it really matter? You know, on that side, my cake, if I hold it that way, or I might hold it that way, and it's upside down. But as I say, it doesn't, oh, it's fitted quite well there. So on both of the other sides, I've got cakes there and there. And the other thing, I'm making, yes, that's what I ought to do, didn't I? Great crab impression, yes. I lost my train of thought there. But yes, what was I going to say? Never mind. So you can make these longer as well. You can, if you want to do, it is just like an oven glove, just have a longer strip in the middle. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, your fabrics. How many times have you bought widths of fabric which are 5 inches wide or even 10 inches wide? These are made with your 5-inch widths of fabric. So very, very charm friendly, or even the things. Great little make. Thank you, Judith. If you wanted to have two, but you could put 2 charm squares here. If you wanted to have it 2 colours, you could stitch 2 charms together, and it will give you slightly longer than you need. It will be the right width of 5 inches, and when you stitch 2 together, it will be 4.5. It will be 9 inches. So just trim an extra ½ inch off each end, and you've got the ideal measurement for these pieces. What did you say? Missed that one there. Caroline was, you're loving it there. Yes. I do have some of the cake fabric. Yes, left. Yes, I do. And I haven't got your order out yet, Jack. So I'm waiting for, unless you need it desperately, I'm waiting for the clover tools to come in as well. So it can just be one postage. So there we go. I hope you have enjoyed that. Camera kept slipping a little bit there. Nice little make, not difficult, but a quick make just for you. So I have got fish and chips coming tonight, as it's Friday, and I'm just about ready. It's coming at 7:30. So I will, not quite, but love you and leave you. I will thank you for your company, but also we just say once more, stay safe, please. I think you're fine, Caroline, in New Zealand, and who else was it? Jane, who was thinking about it or whatever. You're definitely going to make a pair for your new kitchen. Yes, I'm hoping to have a different coloured kitchen soon, but we shall see, and I might make some of these to go with. I'll see what Martin looks like wearing these. I'll take a picture if I can. Anyhow, enjoy your evening, enjoy the rest of the weekend as much as you can. Stay safe, and I will see you next week. Next Tuesday we shall be doing number 2. It's finishing off our sew row, so I shall be doing binding. Whether I'd be doing a bit of quilting, I might do, just to give you to show you what I should be doing, and finishing off that quilt. And we'll have another little make as well. So as Tony says, ciao for now. Don't forget to like and share. Vanessa's watching. If you can share this little video, it would be fantastic. And thank you so much. So thanks for your company tonight. I hope it's made you feel a little bit warmer, because I do now. And enjoy the rest of your evening. So bye for now.